In 2025, a team of researchers used artificial intelligence to study and decode mysterious symbols carved into the stones at Göbekli Tepe, an ancient site in southeastern Turkey. What they found shocked the world. Beneath the surface, they uncovered hidden chambers, strange and advanced relics, and signs that a forgotten form of intelligence may have existed thousands of years ago. But one particular discovery was so unsettling that officials have refused to talk about it publicly. No one knows exactly what was found deep under the ancient site, and the silence from authorities has only increased the fear and speculation. Many believe Göbekli Tepe may hold secrets about humanity's distant past that we are not yet ready to face, and the possible truth is deeply unsettling. Göbekli Tepe, which means potbelly hill in Turkish, is located in a quiet, remote part of southeastern Turkey near the Syrian border. It rests on top of a gentle hill, surrounded by farmland and open countryside. Far from large cities and busy roads, it does not receive many visitors, as it is not easy to reach. Despite its peaceful and dry surroundings, the site hides one of the most extraordinary discoveries in human history. This place is believed to be the oldest known large stone monument built by humans, dating back over 11,000 years, between 10,000 and 13,000 years before the Common Era. This makes it far older than the Egyptian pyramids and even older than Stonehenge in England. What is most surprising is that Göbekli Tepe was built long before humans learned to farm or settle in permanent villages. The site contains massive T-shaped stone pillars, some weighing many tons, arranged in circular patterns. Many of these pillars are decorated with carvings of animals and strange symbols whose meanings are still unknown. The people who built it had no wheels, no metal tools, and no advanced machines, yet they were able to move and position these stones with incredible precision and care. So far, archaeologists have excavated only about 1/10 of the entire site, leaving most of it still buried beneath the earth. What has already been uncovered is astonishing, but what remains hidden may be even more important, with the potential to change everything we think we know about early human civilization. In the 1990s, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt began carefully studying the site. He quickly realized the stones were part of something far older and more complex than anyone had imagined. His work revealed that people were building large, organized structures long before they invented farming. This discovery forced historians to rethink the way early human societies developed, showing that our ancestors were far more intelligent and capable than previously believed. Yet, the stones and carvings at Göbekli Tepe seem to hint at an even stranger and more mysterious story, one that may still be buried, waiting to be revealed. Göbekli Tepe is covered with huge stone pillars, some standing nearly 20 feet tall and weighing almost 10 tons. These stones are shaped like the letter T and are arranged in large circles, with two of the tallest ones often placed in the center. Every pillar is carefully positioned, showing that the builders followed a clear plan. Even though the site is over 11,000 years old, the skill and attention to detail are remarkable. The people who built it used only simple stone tools, yet they shaped each massive block with precision and effort. The pillars are decorated with detailed carvings of animals such as snakes, foxes, vultures, and scorpions. The lines are sharp and the images are clear, showing the work of skilled hands. Some carvings show strange human-like shapes with small heads and unusual arm positions, suggesting they might have had a symbolic or spiritual meaning. There is no written language at the site, but the carvings seem to tell stories or express beliefs from a time long before books or cities existed. The builders were hunter-gatherers who survived by hunting animals and gathering plants. They didn't farm, live in permanent houses, or have animals to carry heavy loads. They moved often and lived in small groups, yet they came together to build something enormous. This shows that even before farming, people could organize large projects, share ideas, and work toward a common goal. The carvings raise a powerful question. What message were they trying so hard to communicate, and why was it so important to them? Many scientists think Göbekli Tepe was used for special gatherings, perhaps for spiritual ceremonies or seasonal events. Some believe it was the world's first temple, a place where different groups met to perform rituals, sing, and share traditions. In those days, people didn't settle in one place for long, but they may have traveled to Göbekli Tepe at certain times of the year. Such gatherings could have helped maintain connections between groups and spread ideas. Klaus Schmidt, the archaeologist who first studied the site in detail, had a groundbreaking theory. He believed people gathered here for spiritual reasons before farming began. According to him, the need to feed large gatherings may have encouraged people to start planting crops nearby, eventually leading to farming and settled life. This idea challenged the old belief that farming came first and temples came later. Schmidt's theory suggested that shared beliefs and gatherings were the driving force, and farming developed to support them. One of the most mysterious facts about Göbekli Tepe is that it was deliberately buried around 8000 BCE. People filled the entire site with dirt and stones, covering the pillars. This wasn't caused by natural events, it was done by human hands. The reason remains unknown. It might have been to protect the place, hide it, or mark the end of its use. The intentional burial makes the site even more puzzling. Alongside the scientific theories, there are many alternative ideas. Some people think Göbekli Tepe was built with help from advanced beings from another world, arguing that the stones are too big and heavy for early humans to move with simple tools. Others believe it was created by a highly advanced civilization that was lost after a great disaster, such as a massive flood or earthquake. There are also claims linking the site to ancient star maps, mysterious energies, hidden portals, or even the legendary city of Atlantis. These ideas are mostly unsupported by evidence but continue to attract public interest, mixing fact with fantasy and making it harder to separate truth from myth. In 2025, archaeologists made new discoveries that added more depth to the story. For the first time, there was clear evidence that people might have actually lived at or near the site. They found the remains of fire pits, food storage areas, and the bases of what appeared to be simple shelters. Some stones showed that the ground had been prepared before construction began. This suggested that people stayed there for longer periods than previously thought. The team also uncovered everyday tools made from stone, such as blades, scrapers, and grinding stones. These were used to cut food, clean animal hides, and crush seeds or grains. They found remains of wheat grasses, wild beans, animal bones from gazelles, and even bird feathers, giving a glimpse into the diet and lifestyle of the people who built Göbekli Tepe. Even with all these findings, many questions remain unanswered, especially about why this incredible place was built, what its carvings truly mean, and why it was buried so carefully. The more we learn, the more it seems that the story of Göbekli Tepe is far from complete. The new discoveries at Göbekli Tepe showed clear signs that people hunted animals, gathered plants, and prepared food right at the site. There were fire pits and cooking areas, stones with grinding marks, and animal bones that had been broken in ways that suggested they were either cooked or used as tools. This proved that people didn't just visit briefly. They stayed for periods of time, preparing meals and taking care of their basic needs in one place. Using ground-penetrating radar, researchers looked beneath the surface and found more than 15 stone enclosures that are still buried. Some of these may be as old as 15,000 years, making them even older than the parts of the site already uncovered. Over 200 new standing stones were detected, all shaped by human hands and set upright in the ground. At least 15 of these areas are believed to be large stone temples. So far, archaeologists have explored only about 1/10 of the entire site, and experts estimate it could take more than 150 years to fully study everything. Each new discovery gives a clearer picture of how early people lived, worked, and gathered here. These findings challenge the old view of human history. For many years, experts believed farming came first. According to that idea, once people learned to grow food, they settled down, built homes, and eventually created villages and towns, which later developed into civilization. But Göbekli Tepe tells a different story. Here, people came together in large groups long before farming existed. They built massive stone structures, lived in simple shelters, and shared stories and beliefs. Farming may have developed later as a way to support the growing community. This suggests that human connection, belief, and cooperation may have been the true first steps toward civilization, and the need to gather and share experiences might have inspired the later shift to agriculture. The buildings at Göbekli Tepe reveal remarkable planning and teamwork. The stones are massive and heavy, meaning they had to be shaped, moved, and raised through the combined effort of many people. This would have required leadership, organization, and shared goals. Even without written language, the carvings and stone layouts show that these early people had strong beliefs that guided their actions and kept their community united. It's likely that different members of the group had specific roles. Some may have been hunters, others stone carvers, builders, or planners. This hints at an early form of social order where tasks and responsibilities were shared. Big projects like this also required food, tools, and resources for the workers. People may have traded with nearby groups, exchanging goods such as food, tools, or raw materials. Leadership roles may have existed, and stories or shared beliefs could have been used to inspire cooperation and unity, acting as a kind of unwritten law before written records existed. These discoveries show that early humans had advanced skills, organized thinking, and the ability to create complex projects long before traditional civilization began. Göbekli Tepe isn't the only site of its kind. Across the world, ancient people built other large stone monuments with surprisingly similar features. For example, Stonehenge in England, although built about 6,000 years later, shares the idea of large stones arranged in circles for sacred purposes. Both sites may have been aligned with the sun and stars, suggesting they were used to track time and seasons. This shows that people in very different parts of the world developed similar ideas about gathering and building with symbolic meaning. The ancient temples on the island of Malta, built around 3600 BCE, also resemble Göbekli Tepe in some ways. They were created without metal tools, used for spiritual purposes, and required the cooperation of many workers to build strong stone walls and decorated interiors. On the island of Menorca, T-shaped stone monuments called taulas were built about 1000 BCE. Arranged in horseshoe shapes, they echo the layout of Göbekli Tepe, even though they were built thousands of years later. Across the globe, ancient societies constructed large stone sites for spiritual, social, and ceremonial use. Many of these places were built to observe the stars, honor the dead, or gather the community. The builders lived far apart and had no contact with one another, yet they created structures with similar designs and purposes. This suggests that the human urge to build meaningful, lasting places is universal and deeply rooted in our nature. The broader lesson from Göbekli Tepe is that early humans may have been motivated not just by the need to survive, but by a desire for connection, belief, and shared purpose. They hunted, gathered, and lived without farming or permanent towns, yet they planned and completed massive construction projects. They passed down skills and knowledge from generation to generation, slowly improving their abilities. This shows that culture, teamwork, and creative expression began long before the rise of cities and written history, making Göbekli Tepe one of the earliest and most powerful symbols of what it means to be human. The arrangement of the stones at Göbekli Tepe is so precise that it suggests the builders understood space, patterns, and perhaps even the movement of the stars. These were intelligent people with both skillful hands and sharp minds. They had no written language, yet they still managed to teach one another, share ideas, and pass down knowledge so they could work together to create something extraordinary. The stone circles were not ordinary homes. They were sacred spaces meant for special purposes. People returned to them again and again, using them as gathering places that strengthened trust and unity within the community. As gatherings grew larger, some people may have begun living nearby. The sacred spaces provided a reason for people to stay in one place, work as a team, and share a common purpose. Beliefs and traditions gave them a strong sense of connection, and building together made the group even stronger. In many ways, these sacred circles became the heart of early human life. Göbekli Tepe reveals that spirituality, shared goals, and cooperation were likely as important as food and shelter in the earliest stages of civilization. Even so, the site still holds countless unanswered questions. Most of Göbekli Tepe remains buried, with only a small portion excavated so far. The rest lies untouched beneath the ground, and it could take decades, or even centuries, to fully uncover it. Each new find has the potential to change our understanding of early humanity. Excavating such an ancient site takes great care, time, and resources, which means progress will be slow but meaningful. Researchers are still trying to determine the site's full purpose. They want to know why people went to such great lengths to build it, and why they later chose to bury it. They are studying how many people lived in the area, for how long, and whether there are connections to other ancient sites that have yet to be found. The more we learn, the more it appears that hunter-gatherers may have been far more skilled, organized, and spiritually minded than previously believed. Future models of early civilization may place greater importance on shared beliefs and community cooperation, rather than focusing only on farming and survival. The history of human development may turn out to be as much about the desire for connection and meaning as it is about food and shelter. Göbekli Tepe is far more than stone and soil. It is a window into who we once were and a clue to who we might become. Each discovery adds depth to the story, revealing new possibilities about our past. As research continues, we may find ourselves rewriting the history of human civilization entirely. The journey is still unfolding, and the next revelation could change everything we thought we knew.